All right, so now that you've finished your project, you have all these little containers with resin in them. So they're really quite simple to clean out. Just takes a few minutes. So I take that little disc that ends up being at the bottom for the resin that has not gone on your project. I take that little disc out and then I roll it in my hands. And I like to use duct tape. I found this to be the best for me. I've used packing tape as well, but I find the duct tape tends to stick a little bit better. It's a little bit stickier. I put it on around my hands, sticky side out, and then just go around the cup on the inside. I don't worry too much about the outside. You can pick that off with your hand, but it's the inside that you definitely want to be completely clean, because that is going to affect your next batch of resin. If you've got little drops in there, they are going to mix into your resin, and it is going to affect how it turns out. If you do something like this, it's not a big deal. It'll still work. You just need that sticky side out to stick to the resin. Sometimes it takes more than one piece. Like this one here, there's a few drops in there, so I'll go back in with another piece. But especially the inside, you want it to be, you don't want to have any drips in there. I find these guys are a little bit harder because they're a little bit more rigid. It's still easy to take that disc out of the bottom. Sometimes you'll find that disc is a little bit sticky because it hasn't really mixed as well in the bottom. If you get some stickiness in your cup, you can use some rubbing alcohol to help clean it up. But once again, sticky side out on your fingers. And I just go around the cup to take it out. I do find that doing this kind of helps to release them a little bit from the side of the cup. You might be the odd one that likes to fight you. And then these particular cups, they have little ridges on the inside, and I find the resin really likes to stick in those ridges. So those are a little bit harder to clean up than these ones, but these ones are also quite small. So if you're doing a big project, this isn't a realistic size cup to be using. So you do need the bigger ones for when you are making projects that require more resin. And then the tools, they're just silicone covered. So it's just a matter of getting a grip on a piece of the resin and just peeling it off. Super simple. I typically am stirring with this side, so I don't really worry about the top part. I just worry about that bottom part, and then going up the mixing stick, taking as much as possible off. Same with this guy here. Sometimes it takes a little bit to grip it. And then I usually wait until my whole project is done and clean up all my cups at the same time. That's great if you have enough cups to be able to do that. If not, and this one I had to clean up as I was going along because I was using these big ones and I have a limited amount. So if you don't have enough cups to wait to the end, just do it as you go, and then it's not as big of a project afterwards. All right, that one's clinging a little bit, so that one's going to take a little bit more to just get a grip on this bottom piece here. And you find that there's no rhyme or reason. Sometimes some of the resin likes to stick to the cup a little bit better than others. There we go, now we got it off. There we go, so those are clean. These guys I will continue to work on because this is mostly clean, but I do see a few drips in there. They're really hard to see because they're clear. You can see them in person a lot better. But these ones I will continue to work on and get those all clean so that they are all ready to use for my next project.